In today's video, I want to talk to you about change. That's a loaded topic, right? Change. It's hard for any of us to really come to terms with what must change, if anything. And then, of course, if there is a change that's needed, how do we go about it? But the most important thing here is that we need to talk about change if you are experiencing anything that you don't want in your romantic life. Even if that is that you are not getting at all what you want in your romantic life, or you don't even have a romantic life because something needs to change. Because here's what I can tell you. You, as you know, I talk about in my book, Why Won't He Commit? How a Man Decides to Make You the One, are a pretty puppy. And how we love puppies as women, men love us as women. That's right. We are all pretty puppies to them. We are everything from the cutest little Chihuahua to the biggest Mastiff, and we're all cute and wonderful in whatever way that is natural to us. So, what I know deep down, and I believe, is that if you are having trouble attracting a man, having a man in your life, keeping a relationship, change needs to take place because intrinsically and inherently you are loved by men for simply being the wonderful woman that you are, just like we as women love all puppies as the wonderful living creatures that they are. So, thinking about change and getting to change. I believe through all of my years of experience and working with women that there is one common denominator, and that is that women want to change the existing reality of men. And this is a great hurdle. It certainly is a challenge. But once this need is accepted, that this change must come from us to change our perception is significant. And here's what I mean. There's an old architect years ago, Buckminster Fuller was his name. And he said, most people want to build a new model by changing existing reality. But we can't change existing reality. We have to just change our way of going about the new model. And I'm not saying it perfectly. I'm certainly not saying it the way he said it, and certainly not verbatim. But it made me think about us in terms of relationships. And what happens, it's really the first part of what he said. We cannot change the existing reality of men. And if we take more of what he said and relate it to us, we must build the new model of what it is for us and our mind. And what I mean by that is that we must accept the existing reality of men and then do what will work. Because if we keep bucking against the existing reality, interesting that his name was Buckminster, but if we keep bucking against the existing reality, meaning who men are, then we will not see the results that we hope for or want, or that would be our divine right of reality, and certainly what we deserve. So, I want you to really do your due diligence on this. We have been sold a bill of goods in our society that men can relate to us in the same way that women relate to us. And that is, again in my book, and you'll hear on my podcast, Make Him Wonder, the Make Him Wonder podcast, women are telling me they get so much information. So if you have not heard the podcast, please go and listen, because it will help you immensely to make huge strides in your romantic life. But you really must know that our society at large, our films, our TV, our society is built on the premise of making money. It's what makes the world go round, as the old song says. Money makes the world go round. And to make films, to make TV shows, to have romance novels, to make anything that will make money, people know that it must be about dream come true. And when in the emotional realm and in the relationship realm of men and women, we are shown things that are put into our computer, so to speak, all the time, that are not reality or buck against the existing reality, meaning what is real in men and who really we want men to be at the end of the day. In other words, we know, as the females we are, we do not intrinsically have interest in the mechanics of cars. And I talk about this in terms of you must be the mechanic of a relationship, because we as women don't typically care about the inner workings, the understanding of the mechanics of real cars. We leave that to men. And they typically love it. They love to understand it to whatever degree they can. They like to toy with cars. They like everything about cars. Its mechanics is something that is more intrinsic to them. That's an existing reality that we cannot buck against. Now, there will always be what I call eclipses in the world. There are going to be female mechanics, just as much as there are males in the realm of relationships, male therapists, male relationship coaches. But we cannot go by the eclipses in life, meaning they only come around once in a while. We need to go with existing reality. And we cannot go by what society is feeding us at all times, that men will relate to us, communicate with us in the way that we are being fed. Because if we do that, we will not have the relationships that we desire and deserve, and we will not be the mechanics of a relationship in the way that is necessary. And that's what I deal with in my GPS program, my Groom Positioning System. I help take anyone in a relationship, and we work together initially in a 12-week program to kind of rewire and rework things for you so that you understand how to be the real mechanic necessary to keep your relationship car on the road. Because with a real car, your man will be the one who, if you're stranded on the side of the road and no one is going to come by, you're in the middle of the desert, there's not going to be anybody for days coming by. He's going to be the one, typically, most naturally, the natural order, the reality of things is that he will likely be the one to lift the hood of that car and figure out what's going on with the mechanics of that car. And we must be the mechanics in our relationships in the same way. And that is, we know, we have the inner knowledge. We must set the GPS and then lead a man in a natural feminine way down the path of creating the relationship that we desire and deserve. And you can do that. But it takes some help many times, because when we've been fed and fed and fed the wrong programming, we've got to rework things, and we've got to get in there and take out some of those old programs that we've been hearing and hearing and hearing and hearing that do not work, and then supplant it and put in the software that is going to help you really get what it is that you want and what is so divine rightly yours. And that's what I'm all about. So if you have any question on this, I will put it in the link below, how to connect with me for my GPS program if you are in a relationship. If you are simply dating, then let's start you off on the right path by getting into one of my dating programs. And that's easier than ever before because now you can do it in a self-help course. So you can just go to coachpaulagrooms.com/programs and connect with me on anything that you've heard here today or in any of my videos, and I will be talking to you again. Like this, leave a comment, and I will get back to you and answer any of your questions. I welcome that. This is Coach Paula. Talk to you soon. I trust you got a lot of good information from today's video, and I enjoy bringing you content that is valuable for success in your romantic life. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the alert bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you want more on any of the content you see here, you can go to my book, Why Won't He Commit? How a Man Decides to Make You the One. You can order it at any fine retailer where you get your books. And if you want more on me or any of my programs, my podcast, go to coachpaulagrooms.com, and we could be talking soon.